Hey, it is Smooth Tim and Larry E. And welcome to another Tim's Tidbits on another hump day. Live from Dallas, Fort Worth, and live from Toledo, Ohio. How's everybody doing out there? How you doing,
What's
Larry?
up?
Doing
I'm
all
late
right,
again.
man. Nah, don't worry, but nah. Hey, we're on time. Everybody else is just behind. Anyhow, how's the weather down there? Up here, it's iffy. You don't know what you're gonna get. Yesterday was a little bit of snow flurries. Tomorrow we're gonna have to break out the suntan lotion, 70 degrees.
Oh, sound like Texas.
Typical. Yeah, it's typical. Yeah, is it? Yeah, maybe that could be what's happening. They're shifting a little bit of that climate. We're getting a little bit of the old Texas weather. You're getting some of that old northern Mexico weather, huh?
Yeah, we'll take as long as it's consistent.
As long as it's what?
Consistent.
Consistent.
Is it just me or is there an echo going on?
I hear echo going on. Hang on just a second here. Let me see.
Yeah.
Okay. How about now?
Testing.
Testing 1 2.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah. Oh, better? Yeah.
Okay. So you can't hear me. We good?
Yeah. We're fantastic.
Okay.
We're fantastic.
That'll work.
Anyhow, hey man, let's talk about what the heck is going on. Did you see, anyhow, number one, Fox has to cough up cash. Our friends, or apparently a couple of our guys have made asshole of the week. Tucker Carlson, Sean Hannity, some of those over at that Fox that was, spreading the propaganda on the Dominion voting machines, right?
Right.
And well, apparently, they were looking for, I'm trying to think, like $1.5 billion. Dominion was, for libel and all that kind of stuff. But anyhow, it all got settled.
We're following more breaking news. Fox News and Dominion Voting Systems have reached a settlement in their defamation case that's playing out in Wilmington, Delaware.
A story that a lot of people are paying attention to. The attorney for Dominion Voting Systems just spoke and says that Fox agreed to pay $787 million and $500,000. The CEO of Dominion also says Fox has admitted to telling lies about Dominion during the 2020 presidential election. The lawsuit initially asking for $1.6 billion. Of course, we'll continue to follow the story. Look for much more on 6abc.com and then coming up throughout the evening on Action News.
That's what they get.
That's what they get for, yeah. And you know what? And we talked about that a couple of shows, was it? Where they were passing the stuff back and forth that, hey, we know this isn't true, but, hey, we're going to spread this. And why?
Well,
Why?
I'm like this though, Tim. If they giving out all that money, imagine how much money they made by spreading those lies. I'm pretty sure they made millions, and then it's Fox. Because is that Turner Network or Fox Network?
Now, it's not Turner anymore.
Fox.
Yeah, Turner is what? TBS, Turner Broadcasting.
TBS. Okay, yeah. So they Fox is. I think they all need to get jammed up like that so they can just stop doing it because the media is more powerful than anything on this earth.
Oh yeah, and
The
I mean,
media.
and who are they supporting? Trump, who's the first one to shout fake news, right?
So now Trump is. Oh, wait a minute. So that means that if Trump was shouting fake news, he actually has something in his corner now to back him up. He has support now. Am I right?
No. They're the ones that were saying that Trump lost the election because the Dominion voting machines were fixed in
So that's
support
going
of
against
Biden.
Trump.
So it was like for every member, that's when Rudy was on there saying, well, for every Trump vote, there's two votes for Biden, and they're rigged.
Oh, okay. I got it. So Trump is
You remember that garbage, don't you?
I remember that. Okay, now he's actually in hot water, so Trump is basically full of crap.
Yeah, well,
Okay,
yeah,
so
yeah. So
it's like everything he's
they
doing
were all
is being
behind.
rebel.
They were all behind the idea that the one of the reasons, besides what, that the ballot boxes were stuffed and everything else, was that these Dominion voting machines were rigged, and so yeah, they got themselves jammed up into that mess. And so what it ended up saying, 750 million.
We'll make. I'll make a show with Trump though, but it seems like we talk about him all the time. But it seems that everyone that's involved with Trump gets jammed up. But yet
He
been
comes out
indicted.
squeaky clean.
But yet, no one's touching this guy. I'm like, but everybody else around him that's involved with him, it's like some of these movies, like John Wick and all that, they like, everything you touch, die. Everything Trump touches outside of him fails or gets arrested or incarcerated, whatever the hell. Leave that man alone. Leave that man alone.
Don't you know? I'll tell you what. Yeah, it serves him right. 100%.
That's what they get, man. I'm like, you don't use something as strong, the powerful as the media, to spread propaganda that's not true, and then not think that the consequences are going to come after you're going to suffer the consequences. Come on, man.
You wonder, excuse me, rather, what's going to happen to some of these other independent that are on, cable. I guess you'd call them cable news. They're not necessarily syndicated news, but they're cable news. You'll see them, and they've got a few of these players, on there that are, spreading the same, misinformation. You wonder when some of these people are going to go after them. Since
well, you know what, too, Tim, podcasts are very popular right now. There's thousands of them, and they're getting a lot of popularity because you get to say it the way it is. You get to say the real shit and hear how it's really coming. The news now is losing recognition. It's losing that respect that it had back in the day when it was actually some sort of news that you can trust and believe in. But I think the politics and religion, they should stay away from everyday life unless it's your life. I don't think people that are not involved in politics should not get involved in politics. Okay, people that are not deeply involved in religion should not get involved in religion when it comes to scuffles and battles and all that stuff, because you're not prepared for it. Politics and religion. People will kill for that, and they will lie for that. So if that's not your cup of tea, you shouldn't be messing with it, especially the news. You should not be messing with politics with the news and spreading fake stuff. Come on, that's the last thing you want to do.
You have a point, right? Yeah. If you're going to participate in a particular thing, you should come well equipped and be well trained, and at least have an idea what the heck you're talking about or what you are doing. Rather, yes, right. And that'd be the same way as delivering the news or someone building your home. You hope they know what they're doing and doing the right thing.
When they say they're building their home.
Well, you know what I mean.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, you don't want to hire like Tom.
You don't want to hire Tom, Dick, and Harry, right? Yeah, doing a half-ass
to build your home. Yeah. Politics, man, it's dangerous.
Anyhow, and over the weekend apparently, and I don't know if this is going to be a thing, but what's kind of interesting about it is they're asking, or the teens are putting out rather. Chicago had this teen night out thing that a bunch of them started putting out on social media. Come downtown Chicago, and we're going to have this teen night out and get crazy, blah, blah, blah. And it really apparently went to holy hell. And, they want to do it again this coming weekend. Check this out.
If we have that convention and violence is allowed to reign on our streets once again, we can't afford to take that chance.
One city council veteran warns that outbursts of downtown violence like we saw last weekend threaten to do enormous damage to Chicago's tourism and hospitality industry. It was the city's largest private employer before the pandemic.
Our political editor, Mike Flannery, joins us now with more. Michael?
Anthony and Natalie, Alderman Brian Hopkins notes the social media that summoned hundreds of young people to 3 consecutive nights of chaos last Thursday, Friday, and Saturday are now promising a part 2 this weekend. The 15th Ward's Lopez and other officials say that since police lacked enough manpower to arrest organizers of the violence last weekend, there are now posts such as this on social media boasting that part 2 will convene this Saturday at various points downtown. The downtown Second Ward's Brian Hopkins notes that tens of thousands of jobs are at stake in hotels, restaurants, and entertainment venues, many of whose patrons are already reluctant to come downtown, especially in the evening. He wants police and State's Attorney Kim Foxx to use every tool they have. So Chicago police hopefully will be better prepared this weekend. If there is more trouble, there may not be. Instead of temperatures in the 70s, this weekend's weather forecast includes chilly rain, and that always keeps the crowds down.
Okay, you know what he really wanted to say? Chilly and rain. I saw a lot of black people running around acting stupid. So
I don't understand that whole philosophy. And I
I'm
remember when
Tim,
that happened downtown Dallas too. The same thing. You know, they're down there, and it makes no sense to me.
Tim, I know what it is, bro. I know what it is. I can tell you what it is. It doesn't have anything to do with them just being destructive. It has something to do with those teenagers and those young people being frustrated and pissed off about what's going on in the city and the government. See, what you want to do is you want to figure out why they're doing it. Why are they doing it? Are they just doing it just to get out and tear up shit? No.
Probably not.
Why are they doing it? You got to get to the root, the root of it. Why are they doing it? And it's out of frustration. It's like a practice riot, and I see a lot of black people running, young black people running around in Chicago. So they have a deep history of I know like gang violence and racism. This whole country has deep history of racism, but you got to understand when I start seeing a lot of young black people running around doing stuff like that, I know what it's about. It's about frustration. So it's about frustration. You know, when I see white people gathering around, turning up shit, somebody don't want the Super Bowl or they don't want the World Series or something. That's the only time I see white people act the damn fool.
Now, that's just how they're trying to activate their voice. I believe you could be. I believe you could be correct.
Concert anytime I've seen a large mass of white people tear up stuff, it's always been during the celebration of a concert, a Super Bowl or something like that, or some kind of big event where their team won. When you see a bunch of black kids running around tearing up stuff, even in Dallas, it's frustration. They're just
pissed off about stuff.
Yeah. But the thing about it is they're going about it the wrong way. Instead of bringing out all the police officers and doing all that crap, they should have police officers out there. They get to figure out who the leader is.
Oh, they overwhelmed them. And that could have been a whole part of it. Maybe, excuse me, rather, this time it may be more peaceful. The first time it was to get your attention. This time, maybe there'll be somebody there that's going to listen to what we have to say. You might have a point.
Yeah. No, I know. I look at the people. See, I know. I always say I stereotype people. That's one thing I got to work with, and that's I hate racism, but I do stereotype people. But when I see something like that, I say, okay, what people are involved? What was going on during the time that it happened? And I know what black people petition and act the fool over. I know what white people petition and act the fool over. I already know. So I already figured this is about frustration. Something is going on in Chicago and in Chicago, bro. So we know we just like looking at the top layer. We got to find the under layers is what's really happening. Yeah. I just hope that no one gets hurt. And then I just hope the police officers don't get hurt because police officers are always overwhelmed. Correction officers are always overwhelmed.
What are you going to do when there's, you're outnumbered 20-1.
They're always outnumbered.
Police officers are always outnumbered. So that's when the incidents are going to occur. Somebody's going to take it a little bit too far. It only takes that one individual to take it just a little bit too far.
But the thing about police officers, police forces, I don't like a lot of things they do when it comes to, they make a lot of bad decisions, but they are organized. If they're not organized the first time, they will get organized, and then they'll figure it out because there are a lot of smart police officers, a lot of smart, lieutenants, and I don't know how the rank goes, but there are a lot of smart individuals within the police force that can make the rational decisions and figure it out. And then you got to go to the mayor, then the local government, the local leaders to figure out what's going on, why they're doing it. Not just go out there and bust heads.
And you might think, in what we're going to talk about next could be exactly why these kids are all pissed off and why these kids are so frustrated and what's going on in the world. And who can blame them? Check this out. And this is just because somebody can accidentally have a deadly wrong address.
Authorities say 20-year-old Kaylin Gillis of Schuylerville was with 3 friends in a car trying to find a friend's house Saturday night, but it was dark with no cell service in a very rural area, and they made a mistake and drove up the wrong driveway on Patterson Hill Road in Hebron, but quickly realized they were at the wrong place.
So they were basically looking for their friend's house and got mistaken and drove up this driveway. While they were leaving the residence, once they determined that they were at the wrong house, the subject came out on his porch for whatever reason and fired 2 shots, one of which struck the vehicle that Kaylin was in.
She was fatally injured. The group frantically drove away, finally able to get a cell phone signal and call for help in Salem on Cemetery Road shortly before 10 p.m., about 5 miles away. But Kaylin did not survive. Now 65-year-old Kevin Monahan of Hebron is facing a charge of second-degree murder. Sheriff Jeffrey Murphy said Monahan was not cooperative and was taken into custody after a standoff that lasted about an hour.
We also want to tell you this morning about a Kansas City teenager fighting for his life after being shot for knocking on the wrong door. The family of 16-year-old Ralph Yarl says he was trying to pick up his younger brothers when he made a mistake. He mistook one address for another. And someone shot. Police say the person who shot this teen has not been charged, at least not so far. Lily Luciano has more on this story.
And you should never, ever have to worry that your life will be taken.
1 block difference is what the family of 16-year-old Ralph Yarl say landed him in the hospital Thursday with what's described as life-threatening injuries. Yarl was supposed to pick up his younger brothers from a friend's house on 115th Terrace in Kansas City, but she says instead he went to 115th Street, where he rang the bell, and that's when police say a man opened fire, shooting him in the head. Yarl's aunt said the man then shot him again.
There is a thorough investigation underway now. There will be a thorough review in the prosecutor's office. We will make sure we do all we can to be fair, to make sure that we're as expeditious as possible.
The homeowner who allegedly shot the teen was taken into custody on a 24-hour hold and was released.
But wait,
this morning,
there's
a community
more.
is reeling after unthinkable tragedy at a Sweet 16.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Officials say 4 people were killed and at least 28 injured at the birthday celebration late Saturday. The party's DJ describing a chaotic scene, saying the room was dark and packed before shots rang out. He tried to protect as many teenagers as he could, shielding them as others fled for the exit.
Yeah, right? You see where we're coming from here?
Oh, damn, Tim, shit.
This is all over the past few days.
And like, you got young white women getting shot, young black men getting shot. No, okay, but they kids.
Sweet
I can't
16.
say
I don't know if
women.
that was a Sweet 16 or Kensietta party. What that was? No, it would have not. No, Kensietta's 15. Yes, so no.
Yeah, well, Kansas Sweet 16, but you gotta understand.
You know, come on.
I'm not gonna stereotype this shit. I usually do. Hispanic people don't shoot up Sweet 16s. Okay, I've been to them. I've never heard of it.
I never heard of that kind of. No,
No, there's probably gonna be some brother shit. There's probably gonna be some African American stuff.
They said, from what I understand, there was 2 suspects, and they must be minors, and they've got them in custody,
so
but they ain't saying nothing. That's all right now.
Yeah, I know what it is, bro. Because I'm saying I already know. You don't shoot up no Sweet 16 Quinceañeras. Hispanic people don't do that. You rarely hear mass shootings with Hispanic people. Hispanic people do not do that. There may be a mass stabbing, but there ain't gonna be no mass shooting.
That's only got to be between 2 of them that were drinking too much and fighting, and that's this usual.
Yeah. But I'm like, it's sad. Even a girl, man, people with guns are dangerous, bro. I'm like, and the first guy, okay, the first guy. Now I'm telling you something, Tim. You do not go into a rural area and then roll up on some older white man's driveway. You probably gonna get shot if he don't know who you are. I'm just saying. I've seen it happen. And then he was on a standoff.
Yeah, but how do you say that's a stand your ground? They may have been on your property, but what was the immediate threat? So this guy is he's gonna.
It ain't no immediate threat.
He's looking at probably second-degree murder.
Yeah, it's one of those honorary ass older white guys. He's like, hey, I'm shooting you. I want you on my property.
And then what did he say? What did they say? It took them, a few hours for the sheriffs to, get him to, hey.
Yeah, I'm like that. Bro, I'm saying, look, young black man. Not every once in a while, is a standoff with the cops. Usually they give up. When it comes to older white men or even a white man with an older age, it's not like middle. They stand off. Them redneck dudes, shit. You ain't gonna come here and just get them, Tim.
And but wait, But wait, and I seen on the news just before this. So we have this in New York where these people come up on the wrong address. They get shot for going to the wrong address. This black kid in Kansas City gets shot for rolling up on the wrong address. And then I see here on the news just before we come in that these two girls, and this happened down in Texas. Where's Baylor?
It's in Waco.
Okay, down in Waco. They accidentally got into the wrong car, got out of the car, went back to theirs, and the guy followed them and shot them. One of them is like in critical condition. They were cheerleaders and stuff.
Tim, I did that. I was at a store. I was picking up some pizza one time, and I parked right next to I ain't gonna say what kind of name the car is because I don't want to embarrass myself. But I parked next to a car that's exactly like mine, and I got in the car. When I came back out, I sat in the car and I started looking around like, what the fuck? I said, who the hell been smoking cigarettes in my damn car? This is some bullshit. And I said, who the hell? And then I saw a bunch of, I keep my cars clean. Like, what's all this trash in my car? I said, and then I was mad. I said, I'm gonna fuck somebody up. Then I said, wait a minute. This is not my car. I swear, and it's not true. And the lady next to me, the window was down. She looked over and said, I see what you're doing. I said, hey, this my bad. And my car was right next to it. I got in my car. And then I actually found out that my pizza was messed up. Went back inside and told everybody the story. They laughed, and the lady, the manager of the pizza Hut said it was our car.
the dirty ass cars, man.
Yeah, I came out.
That makes you that makes you feel real good about the pizza you got, right? So that hog sty out there, exactly. That hog sty out there is your ride, right?
And the lady next door, the lady in the car next to me was laughing her ass off. I said, "What the fuck is this shit? Who's smoking in my car?" Who did all this? I said, oh,
she heard you going off, right?
Then I went in and said, I sat in somebody else's car. My pizza kind of messed up. But you know what? I went outside. She said, I got the same car. That's my car. I said, I'm sorry. I was in your car. Because it wasn't locked. And I never locked my car when I go back and forth. But it's still sad, Tim. It's a sad story. And people with guns are dangerous. And then I don't know what our country is going to do about these gun laws. But it's very, very, very dangerous. They're killing our kids. They're killing everybody, but now they're killing potential leaders that could change all of this. White females, white males, black females, black males, it doesn't matter. They're killing our younger generation. We need them all. Hispanic, Asian, they got to stop.
Tell you what else got to stop, some of these political leaders. And you got to, apparently what happened is, let me preface it, this whole video that we're going to show here next, and this happened in Oklahoma, okay, and I think we have it up there about McCurtain County in Oklahoma. Anyhow, a reporter's been trying to follow up on them because he thinks they may be somewhat corrupt. There's stuff going on, and so he left a recorder in the console area after he left, and got to listen to what got picked up on the tape.
Oklahoma Governor Kevin Stitt is calling for the resignation of several local officials following an audio recording of them allegedly reminiscing about lynching, among other hateful conversations. According to the McCurtain Gazette News, a reporter left his tape recorder behind after a local meeting when he suspected officials were discussing county business after the public had left. NBC News has not verified the audio, nor have we received comment from those allegedly involved. But in the clips, it appears the officials were talking about plans to beat, kill, and hide the bodies of that same local reporter and his father, making barbecue jokes about a local woman who died in a recent house fire, and complaining that they could no longer lynch black people. A warning that what you're about to hear is both disturbing and offensive.
Realized, like your job, I heard the other day, said, I heard 10 or 12 people going to the sheriff. I said, let's get 20. They don't have a clue what they're getting into.
Oh, yeah,
not this day and age.
But everybody.
I'm going to tell you something. If it was back in the day, when I take a damn blackjack, whoop their ass, and throw them in the cell, I'd run for sheriff.
Yeah. Well, it's not like that no more.
I know. Take them down here on Mud Creek and hang them up with the damn rope.
Yeah.
But you can't
do that.
The thing about it is, they got more rights than we got.
They put together an 8-part piece, and they have had multiple claims of corruption within the sheriff's office, questionable promotions, improper investigations, and it was angering the sheriff's office. And the reporter, Chris Willingham, filed a defamation lawsuit because after those articles appeared, according to this lawsuit, Alicia Manning, one of the people in the recording, retaliated by telling a third party via teleconference that the reporter was exchanging weed for child pornography. So he has filed a slander lawsuit against them, and that is when they were in that commissioner's meeting talking about hiring potentially hitmen to kill the publisher and the reporter.
Well, let me play that audio. We have that.
Yeah, but the thing of it is, you know,
we actually told the truth.
I've known 2 or 3 hitmen that were very quiet guys.
Yeah.
And would cut no mercy.
Yeah.
In Louisiana, because it was all mafia around Louisiana.
Yeah, but here's the reality. If the hair on his wife's head, Chris Willingham's head, or any of those people that really were behind all that, if the hair on their head got touched by anybody, who would be the bad guys?
Who'd be blamed for it?
Yeah.
Wait.
You know, sometimes when your podcast is my therapy, because I see a therapist because I deal with issues outside of, and I like to talk about things and get it off of me, and I kind of work through it. But come on, bro. You know what really disturbed me?
The whole damn thing. How about that?
No. The whole thing is wrong. But then again, let's break it down to some real bull crap. He's exchanging weed for child pornography. Don't nobody exchange weed for nothing but money.
Right. I mean,
that's motherfuckers, you know about some weed. How many times have you heard somebody say, "Hey, check this out, man. I got this gas. I'm gonna give you this gas. I want to exchange it to me for some child porn."
You gay porn. What?
Nobody does that. It's fabrication, though.
Oh yeah. So the one Commissioner Jennings, by the way, I seen.
Who's that black guy?
I seen earlier today. I'm not sure who he is, but I do know the one Jennings guy, the one white guy that was running them out about, oh, you know, this place is mafia and you can get to. He has already resigned, and now I heard that part on the news today. And you wonder what's going to happen with the sheriff and these other people back there talking that smack, you know.
Oh, all of them are done.
Talking about when you get, what? They're back in the day, we used to be able to put a rope around them, take them back to the creek.
Then they said they have more rights than us.
What does that mean?
Well, the fuck we don't. We don't have white privilege.
Yeah, what does that mean exactly?
I don't,
right?
I don't know, because damn rights, Tim. I don't want all my rights. I want white privilege. Okay. I'm a brother speaking. I want white privilege. I don't want rights. Rights is bullshit, because rights get infringed on all the time. I see rights get stepped on and kicked around and slapped around consistently. But when you get that white privilege, when you can just say, "Hey, nigga, I'm Michael Jordan, I'm OJ," or whoever the hell you are, when you got that privilege to do that, those basketball players, football players, or whatever the hell they are to get it, that's what I want. Rights are bullshit. Your rights are only important depending on the money you make. The more money you make, the more your rights are significant. The less money you make, your rights are insignificant. This is how it goes. It's dependent on your damn
your social status. Right.
Status,
right.
Basically.
Your social status. You're right.
Yeah,
I agree
that's how it
100% with that statement. Unfortunately, you're 100% correct.
Yeah, rights have nothing to do with black and white. It's all about money.
It's all about what's in your wallet.
Power, property.
What's in your wallet?
Yeah, I know, right? If you got property, you got power and prestige. If you know how to work it, and if you got power, then you can get property and prestige. And if you got
property, has always been.
Yeah, property.
It's always been about property.
Man, you can't listen. You cannot mess with property. We need to do a segment on owning property. McDonald's is successful because of property. People need to look that up.
Yep. Yeah, how did it get so successful? Because the guy bought up all the property that they built the McDonald's on.
Exactly. You saw the movie?
Yeah, I think it's funny.
That movie's incredible.
I'm like, that guy was smart.
And, no, the guy, he knew they was smart.
He goes,
so that's what you surround yourself with smart
Think
people.
about that. I got the perfect location for your next McDonald's.
All you got to do is buy the property and tell people to buy into the franchise and then just make them pay for the property.
They're leasing the property off of you. Mm-hmm.
Incredible. What's the name of that movie? Because people need to look that up because they don't know.
What was that? The Founder.
The Founder starting, they got to play
Michael Keaton.
Michael Keaton. Look
What
at
are you
the
trying to
Founder.
test,
He's
Mike?
incredible.
Man, hey,
And he was
I'm
a
getting
typical
old.
salesman.
Man, don't be testing my. Like, don't do that to me, man.
What's that?
Make me think like that.
I know you got me because I'm a movie guy and I was shit. All right, what we got, Tim? What we got left?
Oh, what do we got left? Oh, yeah. We talked about.
I see some Russians.
Man, well, of course you see some Russians. Anyhow,
Can't have a show without Russians.
No. I mean, that's what makes the world goes around.
The Russians and Germans.
The Russians and the Germans. Anyhow,
Russians, Germans, and Africans.
How come it's always got to be about the Africans? It could be about the Russians. The Africans didn't have anything to do with this. I'm telling you, it was straight out Russian. Check it out, man. And you know, it's funny. It's not really funny. This is actually revolving around, the statement is around that kid that leaked all the documents, you know, that 21-year-old, and now he's in big trouble for leaking all this sensitive information.
Who's he connected to, Trump?
No. He was a reservist. But he had access to all this data, and then he leaked it out. You haven't heard about this? Check this out.
Well, to the latest on the leak of those U.S. intelligence documents, the Wall Street Journal reports the documents were spread across the internet by a pro-Russian social media account. That account is reportedly responsible for taking the documents from a private room on a social media platform and reposting them to more public places. Officials arrested 21-year-old Jack Teixeira for the leak, a member of the Massachusetts National Guard. He's accused of stealing the documents and posting copies in a private chat room. He's charged with violating the Espionage Act. And joining us now, Gordon Lawson, CEO of the cybersecurity company Conceal. Gordon, welcome. Good to have you with us this evening. So I think a lot of people are still asking, how did such a young, low-level guardsman have access to top-secret materials?
Thanks, Jenna. Great to be with you. And I think what the general public needs to understand is that when you have a security clearance and the high level, the TS-SCI clearance this person had, you're going to naturally have access to a lot of sensitive information. Now, I think that his role as an IT administrator within the command he was in allowed him to access more items on what we would call the high side or the top secret side of the computer network, and that's a real problem. And so I'm not sure that this is obviously an issue with security clearances, but I think it's even more of an issue of once you have that clearance, what is your need to know within that specific environment, and that's where the lapse was.